The Aetheric War, Chronicles of the Luminous Divide. Setting the stage, the Grand Epoch of Lumina. The world of Aethelgard is a realm where magic is the very fabric of existence, a shimmering, omnipresent force known as Lumina. Lumina flows through ley lines, manifests in crystals, and can be channeled by those with innate talent, the mages. For centuries, the Grand Conclave of Elders has governed its use, promoting traditional spellcasting and maintaining a delicate, if stagnant, balance. Their greatest achievement is the Lumina Grid, a vast network of ancient, low-voltage enchantments that provides basic magical illumination and warmth to major cities, relying on a system of localized aura converters and short-range magical relays. It's safe, reliable, but inherently limited. This era, known as the Grand Epoch of Lumina, values consistency and established forms. Magic is ritualistic, often slow, and confined by the conclave's strictures. The common folk understand basic sparklight, charms and warmth chants, but true magical advancement has stagnated, viewed with suspicion as potentially disruptive to the ancient order. The Visionaries, a clash of ideals. Our story centers around two brilliant, yet fundamentally opposed, magical innovators whose rivalry will ignite a conflict that reshapes Aethelgard. Lord Theron, the Weaver, Vane. A scion of a powerful, old money mage family, Theron is the most celebrated practitioner of Direct Lumina, DL. He embodies the established order, meticulous, pragmatic, and with an unshakable belief in controlling magic through predictable, localized systems. Theron perfected the aura converter, making his family's company, Vane Lumina Enterprises, the sole provider for the current Lumina Grid. He is charismatic, a shrewd businessman, and a master of public relations, deeply respected by the conclave. He views any radical departure from DL as dangerous and irresponsible. His magic is precise, controlled, and focused on immediate, tangible applications. Kaelen, the Resonator, Sol. A reclusive, eccentric genius, Kaelen emerged from humble origins, unburdened by traditional magical education. He possesses an unparalleled intuitive understanding of Lumina's inherent oscillations and wave patterns. Kaelen believes Lumina should not be merely conducted but resonated, harnessed in its natural, undulating form. He develops Resonant Lumina, RL, a revolutionary concept where magical energy can be transmitted over vast distances at incredibly high concentrations, then easily stepped down to safe levels using his groundbreaking resonance amplifiers. His methods are unorthodox, often appearing chaotic, but yield astonishing results, the potential for limitless, far-reaching magical power. He's passionate, visionary, and struggles with the political maneuvering that Theron excels at. His magic is raw, powerful, and seeks to unlock Lumina's true potential. The first sparks, competition and disdain. The initial encounters between Theron and Kaelen are a mix of intellectual sparring and thinly veiled contempt. Kaelen demonstrates a prototype resonance amplifier, powering an entire district from a single, distant generator. Theron dismisses it as a wild, unstable magic, prone to catastrophic surges. He champions the safety and reliability of his DL system, showcasing grand installations of his aura converters powering the conclave's sanctums and the city's elite districts. The public, accustomed to DL, views Kaelen's RL with a mix of awe and fear. The conclave, beholden to Theron's influence and their own adherence to tradition, sides with him, labeling RL as untested and dangerous, a violation of the ancient edicts against uncontrolled magical flow. Kaelen struggles to secure funding, constantly facing sabotage from Vane Lumina Enterprises agents who infiltrate his workshops and discredit his work. The propaganda war, fear and spectacle. As Kaelen gains a small but loyal following, primarily among the working classes who dream of cheap, abundant magic, Theron escalates his campaign. He orchestrates horrifying public demonstrations, using controlled, surge experiments where a captured, wild aether beast, a creature inherently sensitive to Lumina fluctuations, is subjected to a controlled overload of RL, causing it to violently explode or crystallize. These spectacles are carefully manipulated to appear as inherent flaws of RL, spreading terror and cementing public opinion against Kaelen. Is this the power you seek? Theron's mages project his booming voice across city squares. Untamed. Unpredictable. A threat to our very lives. News parchments, controlled by Vane Lumina, print sensationalized accounts of RL accidents that never happened. Kaelen, less adept at public relations, struggles to counter this fear. He focuses on practical applications, demonstrating how RL could power vast farms in arid regions, illuminate distant mining operations, and even communicate instantly across continents, revolutionary concepts in a world reliant on slow message birds and expensive portal charms. He argues that the control comes not from limiting the flow, but from understanding its resonance. The Nexus point, the Grand Illumination Tournament. The climax of their public rivalry comes at the Grand Illumination Tournament, a prestigious event held once every decade where mages showcase their most impressive magical feats. The Conclave, under Theron's subtle influence, frames it as a direct competition. Theron will demonstrate his new citywide DL grid enhancement, promising even safer, more stable light. Kaelen, against immense pressure, proposes to illuminate the entire sprawling outland wastes, a treacherous, magically barren region beyond the city's reach with a single, massive resonance amplifier. Theron's presentation is flawless, elegant, controlled pulses of DL light up an intricate model city. The Conclave cheers. Then it's Kaelen's turn. He unveils his colossal resonance amplifier, a shimmering tower of crystalline conduits and intricate etheric coils. He unleashes a torrent of RL, a dazzling wave of light that stretches across the horizon, illuminating the distant outland wastes for the first time in recorded history. The crowd gasps in disbelief and awe. But Theron has one last, calculated move. During Kaelen's demonstration, a saboteur, a disillusioned former apprentice of Kaelen, manipulated by Theron, subtly introduces a null crystal into Kaelen's primary amplifier. The null crystal doesn't just disrupt RL, it rapidly drains and corrupts Lumina. The amplifier shudders, and the dazzling light flickers, then turns dark, corrupted tendrils of energy snaking towards the city. Panicked screams erupt. Betrayal and the reckoning. Kaelen, realizing the sabotage, desperately tries to stabilize the failing amplifier. The Conclave, seeing the dangerous corruption, immediately orders his arrest, branding him a reckless menace. Theron, feigning concern, steps forward, offering his DL grid to stabilize the situation. He wins the tournament by default, solidifying his control. Kaelen is thrown into the dreaded Aetheric dungeons, deep beneath the Conclave's fortress, a place where Lumina itself is suppressed. Here, in isolation, he faces utter despair. However, his unique understanding of resonance allows him to perceive the faint, distorted echoes of the Aether Beast that Theron used in his propaganda, and the subtle, corrupting frequency of the null crystal. He realizes the full extent of Theron's calculated cruelty and the deliberate sabotage. His desperation turns to a burning resolve. He begins to meticulously channel his own suppressed Lumina, not in a grand display, but in subtle, resonant pulses, using the very etheric dampeners of the dungeon to his advantage, gradually building a sympathetic resonance with the remaining resonance amplifiers across Aethelgard. The Great Pulse, the truth resonates. Weeks later, the Conclave prepares to permanently banish Kaelen and dismantle all RL technology. Theron is celebrated as the savior of Aethelgard, about to embark on a massive expansion of his DL Lumina grid. But as Theron gives his victory speech, a faint, rhythmic hum begins to permeate the air. From deep within the Aetheric dungeons, Kaelen unleashes a single, powerful, yet precisely calibrated resonant pulse. This pulse travels silently through the existing, dormant RL conduits that Theron never bothered to fully dismantle, deeming them harmless. This pulse doesn't just activate the remaining resonance amplifiers, it acts as a truth resonator. It seeks out and amplifies the residual etheric signatures of deception and manipulation. Suddenly, all across Aethelgard, Vane Lumina's newly installed DL boosters, Theron's expanded grid, connected by their very nature to the broader Lumina flow, begin to glitch violently. Grand displays flicker, showing phantom images of Theron's previous experiments, not the public ones, but actual, unedited footage of the Aether Beast before the Null Crystal was introduced, showing it docile, then the cold, deliberate act of corruption by Theron's mages. Publicly displayed contracts for Vane Lumina glow with overlaid, shimmering text revealing hidden clauses of price gouging and monopolistic practices. Even the very spell charts in the Conclave's chambers momentarily shift, showing the subtle magical manipulations used to influence their decisions. The Truth Resonator, Pulse, having traveled through the entire grid, reaches the core of the Grand Illumination Tournament site, reactivating the damaged main resonance amplifier. A blinding flash of pure, uncorrupted RL energy erupts, bathing the entire square in dazzling light, a light that carries with it an undeniable, resonating truth. Aftermath, a new Lumina, a new dawn. The city is thrown into chaos, but it's a chaos of revelation, not destruction. The public, horrified and enlightened by the indisputable evidence, turns on Theron. The Conclave, their authority shattered by the exposed manipulation, is forced to act. Theron is stripped of his title and power, his empire crumbling overnight. Kaelen is released, not as a prisoner, but as a hero. His name cleared, his theories vindicated, he works to rebuild trust in Lumina. He doesn't seek to replace DL entirely but advocates for a hybrid system using stable DL for local power, but RL for long-distance transmission and vast, transformative projects. The Grand Conclave is reformed, now including voices who champion innovation alongside tradition. The mystery of the Aether Beast and the true capabilities of the Null Crystal become subjects of intense, ethical research. Kaelen, ever the visionary, begins to explore the even deeper secrets of Lumina's resonance, ensuring that Aethelgard's future is guided by both wisdom and boundless potential, a constant flow between order and discovery. The Aetheric war reshaped Aethelgard, proving that true power isn't about control and suppression, but about understanding, openness, and the inherent truth that resonates through all things.